This is Story Route Zero, a podcast where friends gather to talk of their travels through the good, the bad, the ugly, the funny, and even the confusing worlds encountered in games. We may not always know where we're going, but that's often half the fun. Do you have a question, comment, concern, or a story of your own? Hit us up on Twitter at storyroute_0. You can email us at storyroute0@gmail.com, and you can find everything we do at storyroute0.com. Let's have a journey. I said, who's going to tell the youth about the drugs, bugs, mugs, and the police thugs, about the rotten, stinking rackets and the fantasies around the nation, around our nations? Welcome to Story Route Zero. My name is Matthew Keel, and that was Bad Brains, Eye Against Eye. It's a game club week, everybody. And me and my buddy Jason. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. And my buddy Moose.
What's up?
We're going to talk about a game that we all played and beat. And it was really fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's called Mother Russia Bleeds. It is published by Devolver Digital and developed by Le Cartel, released in 2018. But before we get to that,
Was it 2018?
yeah, I think it was 2018.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm actually that's off the top of the dome. So if I'm wrong, I will stand up and admit it. But
And also, for those keeping score, this is the first Game Club game that we have all finished.
yes, finally we got here.
At the time of recording, this is the first one. We are 1 for 3. 1
Yes.
for 4.
1 for 4.
We're batting 250.
It was 2016.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that was that late 2018.
Oh god,
Yeah.
did it come out on PC first and then?
I think it did.
Okay.
Maybe. I think it was on Steam.
Okay.
Let me look.
That has to be it then, because I know
It definitely was on Steam because I looked up something.
I know
Well, we'll get
Signature
into that.
Edition
And
is also
Switch.
doing.
Switch was 2018. That's might be why you're throwing.
Oh, okay.
Because it was both PC and PS4 release were 2016. Like Windows, PlayStation, and Mac and Linux. They were all like within 3 months of each other.
Okay.
So PC versions were the 5th of September and PlayStation was the 3rd of December.
All right. So now that we've got that sorted out, how's everybody's weekend? Moose, thumbs up, thumbs down? 2 thumbs up. Okay, you got some explaining to do, Lucy.
I can explain.
I
didn't know if that was leading into it.
Oh yeah, you go.
14 hours of PvP on Sunday.
Wait,
Dark
what?
Souls 3 PvP. 14 hours. So Richie's changed his stream from Monday to Friday to Sunday to Thursday.
Okay.
And he's doing community streams on Sunday, and currently right now he's doing PvP. So his streams right now, he's kind of got to a point where he doesn't have any more challenge runs to do because he has physical limitations with his hands. Because like some of the fights, like if you did like a broken straight sword run, like the fights would just like
It
break.
took forever.
Yeah. So he's like, I can't do that. And he's like, I've done, different builds. I've done this. And so he finally dove into PvP. Now he's doing it for this would be week 3. So he's just doing invasions. So he just goes and does invasions. But then on Sundays, he invites the community to do PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So he started at 7 o'clock on Sunday. And I got up to join him. And then just kept going.
Cool.
So like he ended at like noon. And then me and 2 of his mods continued PvPing. And then I started streaming. Internet's been weird. I don't know about y'all, but like my stream dropped twice and I canceled. Today I had a friend stream drop. Our guest next week's stream dropped while I was watching. today. So it's just really weird. Internet's been weird lately. But anyways, so stream dropped. Another friend started streaming it. And then I took back over again. And then I went to 9 o'clock last night from 7 a.m. to 9.
The Twitch relays. Just handing that baton.
We did 14 hours of PvP across 4 streams. So
well, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. And the stream I ended on, I just hosted and watched.
Okay.
I didn't even fight because I'm so tired. I'll just keep summoning y'all and we'll
too much blood on these hands.
Yeah. So it was a good time, a lot of fun. And then Saturday was just took Pippa to the mobile vet, and then mowed the lawn and hung out. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So that was the weekend. So the 2
Marshall?
thumbs up was just a good one, but
that sounds like a good weekend, man. Congratulations. I'm glad you had that weekend.
Thank you.
Jason, what'd you do? Only 1 thumb up.
Where did it go? It was a relaxing weekend. We tried a new dinner recipe last night.
Oh yeah?
Ooh, what'd you make?
French onion Swedish chicken meatballs over egg noodles.
All right, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
French onion spaghetti. Okay.
Essentially, yeah. with meatballs on top.
Without the marinara.
Yes.
How'd that go?
It tasted like a French onion soup. It was good.
Nice.
That's cool.
I love French onion soup. It's my favorite. But go ahead, sorry.
I got into the Fall Guys beta on Friday.
Okay.
So that was really cool. August 4th is the release.
Yes, I believe it's coming everywhere, essentially.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
The Fall Guys. Yes, it is.
It's not coming to Xbox. That's why Shuhei announced it. It's only on PS4.
Okay. Oh yeah,
and then they flipped the script with Carrion.
Yeah,
because Carrion's coming to Switch and Xbox and PC, and then Fall Guys is, I think, PC, PS4, and Switch. I'm just hey, I have one in each of those camps, so I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, sorry.
There's a Fall Guys out Twitter handle that just keeps tweeting out no. Not yet. Not yet. People are asking questions that aren't yes or no, and they're like, not yet.
Awesome. So the Fall Guys, you had a good?
Oh, so much fun. I mean, I had a few connection issues, but it was a beta. They were testing server.
Sure. Yeah, it's a beta.
And for those who don't know, the concept is you start with I think it was 60 people.
It's a battle royale concept, right?
Yes, but it's more like you remember the MXC on Spike TV?
Yeah.
You have to run those gauntlets.
Yeah.
So the first one's this, just a ridiculous race where the floor spins one way, then it goes clockwise, then counterclockwise, and you got to keep it and dodge. And if you're the first 45 across the finish line, you go to the next round. The next one's got you were different colors, and you had to kick a soccer ball, and whoever had the most soccer balls in their colored zone won. But when I say soccer balls, think regular sized soccer balls, and you're the size of an ant. So these things are just going.
So almost like Rocket League soccer balls.
Kind of like Rocket League in a sense, but 45 people are in there.
Could you take away from other people's sections?
There was a timer. Okay. So when the timer ran out, whoever had the most won. And you'd see up top, it was blue, yellow, and red, and the numbers kept changing.
So it's a limited amount to start, and whoever has the most of those. It's not like they just keep dropping it. Whoever takes as many.
It's just whatever's
Okay,
and then
it's what's there, and then whoever gets what's there. Okay.
So I made it to the final round once, and it was only 4 rounds. I don't know if that's permanently. It's always 4 rounds. Mm-hmm. You just have to reach the end and grab the crown, kind of like American Ninja Warrior, reach the top. Mm-hmm. And I came in second because I was right there. And all of a sudden this fan blade just, I went flying, and I'm oh fuck.
Son of a bitch.
And the controls, you just move, you jump, and you have a dive button. That's it.
Okay.
And like, as you level up, it's kind of like Fortnite. You just unlock outfits, and they're like ridiculous things. Like, I was the head of French fries, and my bottom half was a soda can. Like, it's just,
delicious.
just absolutely nonsense. So definitely can't wait for that to come out. And I tried the Neon Abyss demo, which comes out. Future me says 2 days ago. Present me says tomorrow.
All right.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Nice.
It's a twin stick shooter, but as a 2D side scroller platformer.
Okay.
So like twin stick shooter, move with left, shoot with right. But it's weird because it's a side scroller. So I was telling Moose before, like a lot of times I was shooting into the ground because you're like, oh no, shoot the other way. But it's kind of like they're called synergies. You just pick up like power ups, but it's not like they replace each other. They just keep piling on.
Oh, it's like Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, you just keep my one run, I think I got to the last level of the demo. I had like 12 different power-ups. Like my bullets would bounce, they would also freeze, they would also throw fire, they'd also ricochet off enemies, they would like pierce. I'm like, all right. And it got like a twin stick shooter, it got hectic on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah. So that's about it.
No, it's not. No, it most certainly is not, sir. You had an important life event happen.
Oh, I did. My oldest.
That's right.
Completed World 1-1 alone in Super Mario.
There we go. First step in a journey of 1,000 miles. There we go. Congratulations, Arya.
We're never-ending journey of thousands of
I'm annoyed I didn't see it because I walked away.
It may not end, but remember, you can always turn away from it.
Because she was getting annoyed, and like I had to take the baby out of the room, and like all of a sudden, I did it.
Oh, good for her.
And I tried to run back, and like she was on the Switch, obviously, and I wanted to record it, but she jumped to the next level, and then it screwed up the capture, and I'm like, oh.
Way to go, Ori.
Come on. All right. This is why we have a podcast. We're documenting it for posterity.
Humorously.
Yes.
Well,
how was your weekend?
My weekend, honestly, I don't remember much of it. I did, however, make good on a challenge I issued myself on last week's show. I put that motherfucking Miller in the goddamn ground in Darkest Dungeon. I'm really happy about that. I also beat that scary as fuck Fanatic. And now all I have to do is actually fucking finish the game.
Nice. How far do you think you are away from that?
Logistically, I am 4 missions from the end. I have to sort of make sure I have the party members leveled up and equipped enough to deal with that. Okay. But I'm getting to the point where I'm basically I've got almost all of the ancestral tokens, and I have to go and find the Shambler a couple of times, kill him, so he drops one. Because I think he drops up to 4, and you have to kind of grind him a little bit. And then after that, I have to handle some death trophies and a full other playthrough in Stygian mode, which is like their super hard version. But yeah, the game's still fun. But
do you feel you have reached the apex of your difficulty and now you're like on the downhill with those 4 missions?
No, I'm worried about the next playthrough because right now, like,
I meant just to beat the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying like you're pretty much on the downhill slope for beating it and putting the game to bed as far as being like, I finished it, now I just gotta finish it.
Yeah,
you know?
like I mean, I've gotten to the point where I could see how a dungeon is gonna play out before I've gotten through 2 rooms.
Yeah.
And that's more often just like, okay, how badly did I fuck up my party composition?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's more what this is about than anything else. But the game is good, and I know I crammed the weekend and some games into that. But hey, it's a game club episode, so why don't we get to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, filling it all in. Let's rock and roll.
Story Round Zero Game Club. Spoiler warning. Hot takes. Bad takes. Much discussion.
That's right. It's game club time here on Story Route Zero. We've played a game. We've beat a game. Now let's talk about it.
Ты думаешь, у тебя хватит сил и контроля? Ты думаешь, что у тебя выйдет лучше без меня? Дурак. Ты думаешь, что справишься без меня? Ты не сможешь. Я тебе нужен. Бери меня.
Okay, for the audio listeners, we were not taken over by Russian pirate radio. That was the trailer for Mother Russia Bleeds, which is our game club game this week, or this month. And as we hashed out before, it was published in 2016 by Devolver Digital, developed by Cartel. And it centers around 4... I'm gonna say
Romani.
I'm gonna say Romani gypsies, but I know like that's not.
No, I know because they mentioned in game. They mentioned
it in game, but like I think it's specific to Ruska Romani. I know that from what I know very little about Eastern European gypsy culture. Just I have a tertiary knowledge just because of my ex-wife, but the what was I going to say? But this is Ruska Romani, and they're a predominant gypsy culture based in Russia and Belarus. Story is about 4, we'll say fighters, because they're kind of just making money for Mikhail on the side at the beginning, where they just do street fights for cash. And then the area where they live is raided by the Bratva, which I believe is a faction of the military.
No, it's the Russian mob.
It's
the Russian mob.
Oh, okay, my bad. And they are taken to a lab and experimented upon with a drug called Nekro. And that's how our story begins.
And then it's all ponies and flowers. And
clearly one of us got a different ending. So this is a side-scrolling beat-em-up in the tradition of like Double Dragon. And it definitely has that. I mean, now that we figured out that it's published in 2016, that kind of like, this is definitely still in that run of games where you could just tell Devolver had its hands on it. Because it seems like they sort of just they were kind of striking at a series of notes. The soundtrack had to be synthwave. it had to be pretty bloody, and it had to be somewhere between 16 and 32-bit pixelation, and there had to have an edge to it. There had to be an edge there somewhere.
Yeah, this is arguably one of the more violent of the beat 'em ups. Like most beat 'em ups, it's kind of comic style. Like you beat them up, they knocked out. Like this though, nobody goes down easy, and when they go down, they're down.
Yeah. Oh man. So okay, I'll ask the question. I played as Boris. Who'd y'all play as?
Natasha.
Okay.
Boris the Blade.
I went for the speed. She had the highest speed stat.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what Boris's stats were, to be honest. I was just
his are right down the middle.
I was like, let's go, Boris. I was like, let's go.
It was probably the craziest.
Yeah.
Hands down. Just looking at him.
Yeah.
Plus his taunt is the most disturbing. Did you guys use the taunt a lot?
I tried, but I always forgot about it. What was Natasha?
I think he goes a full monkey, like zoo monkey, and takes a crap and throws it at you or at the enemy.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I remember that. Yeah. No, I had to do that.
I'll never be able to say that sentence again.
Nope, you will not. No. Nope.
Natasha pulls a beer out of who knows where, chugs it, and then throws it at the enemy, and it's a brief stun too.
Oh, nice.
But it's kind of far enough. It kind of just slows their movement. You can't you're too far to act upon it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't play because when I originally got this on PS4 and I tried, I loaded up Boris because Boris is the obvious choice when you start. But I actually played through on Switch, so I picked Natasha. I didn't play as the other two. I think Ivan's full on. He's basically Zangief for Mayor Hager.
Yeah, he's a full on tank.
And then what was the other one name? What was his name?
I don't remember. I remember Ivan, Natasha, and Boris, but I know there's a fourth one.
Yeah. Fourth one's basically the opposite of Ivan. He's a little faster, but he's more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, they all have a similar play style.
Oh, Alexei. I think it's Alexei. Yeah.
I think they all have the same moveset. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you grapple, if you punch, did you kind of Natasha would bite the guy?
Oh, if you grapple?
If you grapple, you could bite.
Yeah,
or you could throw.
Boris would headbutt.
You could also. There's not a pile driver. She just throws the guy down. Then there was one. If you push up when you grapple, I would just throw the guy in the air. That was I mean,
you start juggling him. Yeah, it was weird.
What the?
So this game starts off as traditional beat 'em up fare, and I think it sort of carries that throughout. But I think it's really trying to. It really spends a lot of time trying to establish a motivation for the player because it doesn't really move in. I know Moose and I were playing Streets of Rage 4 earlier this year. It doesn't really move in that tradition where you kind of move through a level towards a natural end. You kind of move through 4 or 5, maybe 6 screens of enemies, and then
awesome.
Well, but then it doesn't really it for at least with me, none of it seemed like I never knew I was facing a boss a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think there was only half the levels had them actual there's the one general, there's the executioner dude. obviously the end boss, and I feel there was one other. I think it was like every other level had a boss fight.
Yeah, had some sort of encounter at an end. And you are correct, Moose. It is Sergey, and I did say Alexei, so I apologize.
It's just curious.
No, but yet better. I'd rather be right.
I'm gonna point out we were like all like, what's his name? It's right over Jason's right shoulder. So I'm like sitting here and I'm like, it's right there.
Yes, and if you've noticed, there's 4-player co-op.
Yes, there is.
And 4-player, 1-player, and 3 AI.
Yes.
So
Wait, what?
Yeah,
you can add the other characters in just to play with you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I found that out like chapter 7, I think. It was like a tooltip, and I read it and I didn't really think about it, and then it was like, that would have made a few fights a little easier.
First question: did we all play it on Switch?
I played on PS4.
Okay, I played it on Switch. Jason, you played it on Switch?
Switch actually had achievements. So I don't know. I wonder if
it does. It does at the bottom. It has little mini achievements you get. Yeah,
and they also there's a lot. There's a lot actually.
Yeah.
But after you make your character selection, you can hit, I guess it would be circle on the PS4, and it's A on, or no, maybe it's Y. So maybe it's Y and square. But you can hit that button to add a co-op person, and then you can hit it again to add another co-op person. You can have up to 3 co-op, but it does make the game, there's a lot more enemies. Yeah. But anyways, it's still pretty cool that they added that in, that you could just be like, here's some robots, some cannon fodder. Yeah. The nice thing is they can res you if you need it. So.
I didn't. Oh wow, that would have been some. That would have been a fucking fights.
There were a few fights throughout. There was like, the game was good with checkpoints. You die, and it kind of would bring you right there. Which was nice. But yeah, the core gameplay, kind of like every beat 'em up kind of move through the stages, get to the end boss, or just horde mode essentially.
Yeah.
Move on. But you mentioned the Nekro, which is the kind of what makes this unique.
Yes. The Nekro, you can use it to heal you, or you can go into a berserker rage, and it basically serves as you go into overdrive. You can kind of clear the screen. If you
What's interesting is it doesn't make you invulnerable, which you would think like you pop this, like it's not like the star in Super Mario, like they could still beat the crap out of you.
Oh yeah.
But if you're more powerful, you're quicker, which I notice more like, so if you knock an enemy down, you can jump on top of them and pummel them. With Nekro enabled, like you're in like fast forward mode, like you're just wailing on them.
Yeah, it looks like, what was that movie? Go ahead, Jason.
And then the big thing with Nekro, you can perform fatalities.
This is probably the one thing I thought was stupid. Not that you could perform fatalities, but that if you perform one, it ends it.
You could do. I could do 2.
I could do I did like 2 or 3. It just depends on where you are in the time cycle of when you hit.
Yeah, you have to.
It is limited.
Yeah, okay. The Necro's limited. How long? Natasha's fatality, she goes all Kano from Mortal Kombat and rips out the heart. I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. Boris just
like,
picks.
It goes slow mo, and then she's like, ah.
Boris does a backbreaker, I think.
Backbreaker, and basically breaks them in 2. Like it's literally like
I think Ivan, because it was in the it's in the tooltips. I think he does a Johnny Cage head off
uppercut.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
And you guys know that there's different kinds of syringes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
okay. Yeah.
I was looking into that, but
I was like, man, there's so many to mess around with here, and I'm like,
they're hard to unlock though. They're not easy
Yeah.
to unlock.
Yeah.
But the other use of what's cool I found, Nekro wasn't just like some pickup. If you pummel someone, but if you don't cause any brain trauma, you can't really. It's hard to. Like,
And there's no way to tell. There's no way to
they'll
tell.
No, it's RNG. It's total RNG.
They just start convulsing, and you can basically withdraw the Nekro from them and refill your meter, which is kind of cool. Like that you can, because a lot of times I'd be strategic with Natasha. I could run across the stage, throw the guy, run back to the convulsing, and I'd have enough time to withdraw before they came at you. Unless it was a stupid dog. Those fucking dogs suck.
Video game dogs. Why do they do this to us?
Because we love them so much in real life.
Video game dogs.
But I also, they took the whole weapon thing from Beat 'em Up and kind of enhanced it. Like a lot, like if you play Streets of Rage, pick up a weapon, kind of 2-3 swings, you're done. This, like, you can keep a weapon for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I liked the supercharging of the weapons. Did you guys do that?
Didn't know you could supercharge the
If you
weapon.
not
hold
know.
down, if you hold down swing, you basically go all Mark McGuire, like hold it back a bit, and you like clear the stage.
Oh, for
like,
the
you'll
melee
take-
ones. Okay.
Yeah, the melee ones. You'll just
Nice.
level everything, and then you
Oh,
can always
nice.
throw it. And then guns, which was interesting. But they
Yeah.
were like pick up a gun, throw it, like like heads are exploding. Like the first
Yeah,
time
you
you do
shoot
it, it's
people's faces off.
The AK or the pistol, and then the shotgun later on. Fucking shotgun.
there's this. I think it's chapter 6. I had the AK. I must have killed like 30 guys just standing in the center.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, just don't hold square and you're fine.
Yeah.
Or you get the taser and you just hold it into somebody.
But then it was cool. Like if you had the knife and you were in close combat and use it, it's an insta kill.
Mhm.
Like you would
Which
just
is nice, yeah.
or even the broken bottle. Like it was, the bottle wouldn't kill them, but if you picked it up once it broke, you just stab them.
Yeah.
This game's very violent. We mentioned that.
Yes,
It's a Devolver game. What
This
do you
is a
expect?
very violent game, but so
I also
I'm
want to
just
say,
oh go
I
ahead.
don't think the game is violent because Devolver had their hand in it. I think the game's published by Devolver because they like those types of games, or putting out those gritty type of games. Like I think they saw and it was right up their alley, and they were like, "We're doing this," you know.
Well, I think the Hotline Miami trope that gets thrown at Devolver is kind of a, I don't want to say it's a misnomer because there's clearly a pattern there, but the one thing that those games do all have in common is that they're mechanically interesting.
Yeah.
Now the difference between Mother Russia Bleeds and Hotline Miami is that Mother Russia Bleeds is dealing in a tried and true formula of the beat 'em up.
Yeah.
And there's not, I don't know, I mean, if there is a way to sort of reinvent the beat 'em up genre, I don't know how to do it. But I think what La Cartel has done here is they made it a little deeper combat wise, and they also made it like, I mean, I remember playing beat 'em ups as a kid where just all of a sudden you got to that area where you were just mathematically eliminated. Like you just sort of knew, but you kept trying, just sort of hoping. And the use of the Nekro, the way that they handle melee here, it sort of alleviated that to a degree. Didn't really change the difficulty. It didn't really change the tension of a fighting arena, but there was just another way to think about it. And while this might not be a reinvention of the wheel. Say, you know, it doesn't come near as close to reinventing itself as Streets of Rage 4 did, but this is 4 years ago, obviously. I don't think that that's something that you could just say, oh, well, this is just a Devolver game and they're doing Devolver stuff.
Right. No, I understand. I'm just saying, like, to say that I just think it's wrong to say, like, they kind of, like, had their fingers in saying, oh, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be this, it's going to be that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
But, I mean,
they go all in with it's not just the violent, like, it's the settings weird, the different stages, like, they went, like, for the weird and strange and abnormal, and, like, everything was, like, you're in, like, a meat packing plant, the rats. There was a lot of stages. The sewers, the sex club, which was...
Yeah, the sex club was... That was the first time in a long time that I've had, like, actual difficulty just looking at a game I was playing. I'm just like, I don't want to. This might be too much. Now, granted, I thought the dialogue. I mean, not to skip. If you want to get to something else before this, we totally can. But I just want to say that some of the NPCs that you would get along the way did their jobs really well, and I think the strongest of which is the one you get in the sex club, because that helper ain't going down for nobody. I thought it was really weird that it kept on referring to itself as doggy, and it referred to you as daddy. I don't know how it referred to Natasha, Jason.
That was a minor complaint about the game, because I don't know if they realize it. Like, the bad guys would refer to, like, before I'd get into a room, like, him, he's still here, like, kept referring, and I don't think it changed, because I think the 3 out of the 4, I mean, it didn't matter, but I just thought it was like, but then there were times where they said her, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, it's like almost like they forgot to, they did one template for, like, Boris, copied it over, and they're like, crap, we forgot Natasha. But yeah, the it's like a sex slave in a S&M body.
I mean, if you've ever seen the movie Pulp Fiction, it is essentially a bring out the gimp type of moment.
And he just kind of charges at enemies for you and knocks them down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he kind of bites them.
I'm assuming.
He kind of attacks them like a dog would.
Yeah.
It's weird as fuck.
Yeah,
but some of the boss fights were, I feel they were different than most beat 'em ups. Boss fights are just, you continue to beat them up. It's just a stronger enemy that takes a while. The boss fights here weren't like, yes, ultimately you did beat them up, but like you had to jump a few hurdles, which I like that they added that. Like the executioner or the butcher or whatever in the sex club, like you had to kind of stun him to get close enough. Otherwise he would just go all scorpion on you and then punch you across the room. The general, like, he kept shooting at you, so you kind of had to, it's like bob and weave.
Yeah.
The one stage I thought was my favorite was the fighter chopper that was shooting, and as you move window to window, like you'd kind of line up people, get out of the way, and like it would just annihilate them. And the same one for the train stage, which was cool.
Yeah, for those two stages in particular, I just found myself not fighting.
Yeah, kind of lead them.
Like, oh, I'm right here, guys. Come on over here. Oh, you see this grenade? Nah, don't worry about that. I'm going to move. You guys stay right there. Boom.
The grenades were a few times with the train. I I had full health and full necro, so I was like, I'm gonna take this hit. And I took out like 30 guys. So I was like, yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I got a trophy for that. The one where you're in the helicopter.
Don't
one
get
where,
hit.
Yeah, don't get hit. Felt pretty good about that. What did you guys think of the meat grinder boss?
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a trophy for that too, but I think you have to do it on the first try. You can't get hit by the meat grinder.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't remember. I don't think I got that one.
That was interesting though. Like you had to keep moving and like breaking down the doors and kind of. I kept throwing guys into him to kind of knock him back, and then I would like do a drop kick or something to kind of push him back and take a little damage.
I think that was one of the ones where I had started, but then I had to like go to work. So, and then when I came back, I had to start that stage all the way over. So, and I think I got there the second time with a weapon that I could just hit him and knock him into the meat grinder with.
Yeah, now that you know about the charge weapons,
yeah,
it's extra damage.
Far.
Yeah. now I might actually try and platinum this game.
Some of the trophies are, I mean, if they mirror the achievements or not, some of them look like finish a stage without getting hit.
I'll bet you that's easier than you think, though. I mean, I think you can use the different syringes to make some of the trophies easier. But the syringes require you to beat the arena stage. Which is difficult.
Yeah,
I started one. I'm like, I started one. I'm like, I don't want to do this.
I started the first one, and I got to wave 10 3 or 4 times, and it just gets absolutely bananas. Like it's just you kick someone, they knock you down. A dog jumps on you, you throw them. Someone else knocks you. It's just like, oh god.
Yeah, it seems to become
more annoying than it is like challenging.
Yeah. So, I mean, this game isn't a very long game, so we could probably just keep moving. Basically,
did you like the last boss?
Which
I
part?
thought it was all right.
Are you talking about the one where you're fighting yourself, essentially?
Yeah. So that frustrated me to the point I Googled it because I was not finishing phase 1. I was like, what am I doing wrong? But it was just a matter of you had to get every syringe and throw it. Like you had to keep. There was no because after that he was pretty easy.
Well, with the last boss in particular, I had the trouble. The trouble for me came once he split into 2. Which is like the very final wave, just because by the time I got there, I was, for some reason, I had taken it, like, I listened to the dialogue that Boris had where he's like, I don't want to use this stuff anymore. So I was trying not to use it. Ultimately, what put me over the hurdle with that boss was once I got one of those guys, to where they were exhausted after they're, firing their massive amounts of syringes at you. I actually went over there, I hit R2 and pummeled him to oblivion. And then I found out I got the sad ending because of it.
Yeah. Apparently, you have
the sad ending too.
Not use Nekro in the final fight.
At all during the final fight.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And the time I did it, I beat him. I'm just like, oh, fucker.
I would say I forgot more often than not to use Nekro. Like maybe because I played on easy. Maybe if I played on medium or hardcore, but like a lot of times on easy, I was just mowing down things and I just kind of forgot to use it as much.
Yeah,
So,
I did it on normal. It was there were some stages where I was using it where I needed it, and then some where I really didn't. It kind of depended on what weapon you were able to carry with you. I kind of wish there was more of the Romani context
mhm.
in terms of like Greater Russian society. I know that's probably harder to do in a game like this, but like a lot of it you don't really get until you're at the second to last boss, where you have that dialogue where he's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's your end game here? You're going to kill me and then go back to your Roma, colony and just starve to death? Is that your end game? And at that point, it's just kind of like, okay, now I have a shit ton of questions. And I'm not really going to, I don't really think that there's any way that this particular game would even begin to want to answer those. But I think it's one of those that probably just it opened my eyes to it. It's just some things that I was aware of, but wanted to know. Now I actually want to know more about. So I think that's kind of cool that a game like this did that. But yeah, and I think it was you, Moose, in our Facebook chat where you were pissed off at that second to last boss.
Not the second to the last boss. Well, the
one with the
area
ladder?
prior to the last boss. It's like
The politician?
where you come up on the politician who's humping his favorite whore.
Oh,
And-
God.
and he's you know you're my favorite, right?
Oh,
and
Jesus. So much weirdness.
So he so like then you chase him under his desk. And my problem was I had the 4 or the 3 other characters. So there were more people on the screen. And then those 3 characters don't realize we have to knock him off the ladder. Because I got shot up like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, what is happening? And I like looked it up, and I'm like, oh, you have to knock him off the ladder as he tries to escape. So then I spent like 6 or 7 more times, like, oh my God, I was yelling at my Switch at work. I'm like, motherfuckers, go knock him off the ladder. And so finally, when I finally did it, I was like, like, fuck, like, this is ridiculous. That is where I feel like they have a significant issue. I mean, like, the game is great. It's a good game. It's a good beat 'em up. But I feel like in their sequel, which I'm sure, not their sequel, but their next game, which I'm sure they're going to be making another game because this one did pretty well for them.
Yeah.
I would hope that their the AI of characters that are helping you, if they do something similar to this, where it's like, okay, you can play with 3 other characters who can either be couch co-op or online co-op, or they could just be AI. Hopefully the AI is like, oh, I need to do this, and, I can do it, or at least pick it up after I do it. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need to know to do that initially, but, like, if I go and do it once, they're like, oh, we need to keep him from getting up the ladder, and then they go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just super annoying because, like, they're not keeping the enemies away from me, and so I'm getting overwhelmed with enemies, and fucking dogs are jumping on you when you get knocked down, and you're watching them climb up the ladder, and I'm like, pause, restart, or just start from last checkpoint. No, because if you do restart, you restart the whole level. So I did start from last checkpoint. I had to do that like a bunch of times, just because I'm like, I'm watching him climb, like, get on the ladder as I'm being knocked down, and a dog's jumping on me, and I'm like, oh, there ain't no way I'm getting over there. So, but
I think
oh, go ahead, Jason.
I think having a fail state in a beat 'em up level was interesting. You don't see that. Generally, it's just until you lose all your lives or you can't.
Your fail state is usually 0 health.
Yeah, but like having because there's actually there's definitely one other fail state level. It's the radio one where they're
Yeah,
calling for backup.
that was my like pinnacle of frustration, because anytime
That's another trophy.
yeah, like fuck.
If you beat it, I think if you beat it on the first try, you probably just do chapter select. But
Yeah.
if you beat it, you get a trophy. But I didn't understand it for like I was like, because you can pick up the radio and throw it, but then it's like if there's another guy near him, he's like, oh, thanks. Like, wait, what? No, I think I felt it was definitely faster paced than most beat 'em ups. I don't think they move as, because I think it was a little more hectic. Like beat 'em up, almost all beat 'em ups get a little crazy, but like this just kind of like, especially with the use of Nekro, it went into overdrive, and there was definitely more enemies than you normally see. I think because a lot of times you start punching. Like I got to 189 hits was my highest. I didn't get to 200. There's actually a 500 hit combo,
which I think that's arenas. I think
you do it in arenas as long as you just keep going. I think you're fine. It's kind of got a grading system like Devil May Cry, like it says creative.
Yeah, I got creative a lot.
I don't know if that's just the only thing creative or it's just but it's definitely a fun game. I mean, has some issues. The bot thing I think that's a new thing. Like I don't think I've ever seen that in any.
Me either.
It's kind of cool playing to see your other characters, and the revive thing is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like Lou said, the AI wasn't. They're more there for cannon fodder. For like, how was the executioner fight with the bots? Did they cause distractions that you can get closer? Moose? The sex club boss?
Yes.
Sexecution.
Yeah, that's sexy.
Like a lot of times I would have to kind of run past him, kind of like lead him, and then throw one of the gimps at him to stun him.
Yeah, but no, like they were pretty good at distracting.
He like most enemies you could see them get up and like you could back away. He would grab you when he was on the ground and just kind of fire you across like a rag doll.
Yeah. No fucks from that guy.
Nope.
A lot more vomiting in this game than any other game.
Oh yeah, you had those giant guys that if they punch you, you puked. That was annoying.
It was kind of a stunt for them. It's their version of a stunt.
Yeah. I mean, they got to get you back at some point.
Definitely entertaining.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that frustrations like with boss areas aside, like I had a blast playing this game.
But I think every beat 'em up has those, like Streets of Rage had the enemies that do the jump kicks. Just
fuck them.
Oh, the ones with their hands in the pockets?
Yeah. I have my hands in my pockets, but I'm completely aerodynamic as I fly through the air.
Don't need any balance. Don't need any, balancing from my arms to make sure. Yeah, whatever.
Favorite weapon?
Oh, the hammer you get in that fire boss.
Oh, that was good. Mine was the katana.
The big giant two-handed one?
Yeah, where you just anything that comes near you.
Yeah.
Firing them off the screen.
Do that with the charge weapon, and it's like,
damn, that's cool.
No, I like the katana. I decapitate.
I forgot about that.
You could have like a whole row of people. You're just like,
But the best moments were when it was almost like a movie. Like you do the charge, run through, like 10 guys would drop. One guy would still be standing, and then he would just drop to his knees like in slow motion, and then the head would just topple.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, so I mean, I know that like we've only been really talking for a little bit on Mother Russia Bleeds, but it's really not a long game, and that's okay.
I think you could beat it in under. I think most levels were 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, if you roll through it, yeah, 15 is probably a nice.
I think the last stage was my longest, but just because I couldn't understand phase 1 of the boss fight.
Yeah, it took me a while to get a handle on phase 2 because I didn't know you were supposed to hit the things that were coming down at you.
The meat, like
the tentacles or whatever.
Because you would just, I was like, this is easy to dodge, but I'm not. What am I supposed to do? And then it's like, oh, you hit them.
Oh, you can do damage to them. Oh.
Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, so
definitely enjoyable and worth the pickup. I think it's only, I know on Steam it is $15, and I think it was 15 on Switch, I believe.
And if you have a hankering for some physical media, I do believe they are doing a signature edition of this game as well. I'm gonna double check that.
Doing it now.
Yep, I'm gonna check it right now.
I'm definitely not. I don't know if I'll 100% it on Switch or even platinum it, but I'm definitely not done with it. I want to try the arena more. I'd like to unlock the other syringes.
Yeah, and see how that works out.
Because some of them, like, they give, like, you could fully recharge your Nekro with one enemy, or some of the abilities. I think you could extend the duration of Nekro with another one. So I think it would definitely change up the gameplay.
It's already sold out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like apparently it's a pretty big edition. I was trying to get all the details, but yeah, it is sold out. So never mind.
Soundtrack look cool.
Soundtrack does look cool. Not a bad soundtrack either. Continue, Jason.
Oh no, I think playing on the higher difficulty with the different syringes would definitely change up. But I don't know if I'd play on hardcore.
Nope.
Is hardcore permadeath or that's just hardcore?
I think it's just harder. I think it's just your hard mode.
Because I ain't doing permadeath.
I would not do permadeath in a beat 'em up if you paid me.
There's way too much RNG in a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Especially those levels with the guns. Forget it.
Oh God, no.
There were a couple times I got shot off screen. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, I didn't know what happened. And then like that firefight that you're in where I was talking about the hammer, there are bombs that just fall like indiscriminately. Like you don't really, you barely get a warning. So yeah, if there's permadeath for that, you never know. I might get the trophy bug about this game and try and go after it.
Well, we all have it on PS4.
Yes, we do.
Technically, so we can all play it together.
Yeah, I deleted it off the Switch, but yeah,
we don't do that. It's not Strange Brigade, Jason. It's not Remnant. But what is? So I know that this is a pretty short one, but instead of ending, did either of you watch Ubisoft or Devolver?
I watched Devolver, but not Ubisoft, because I'll be honest, I like Ubisoft games, but not their presentations. So I could care less about what they were showing. Plus, I was PvP, so I was like, I could either actually enjoy my time or want to, shove a pencil in my ear to be more entertained. So I was like,
I watched Devolver. I watched parts of Ubisoft, but Ubisoft notoriously has a lot of products that I don't care about that they show. I did see the Far Cry 6 teaser, which was unfortunately leaked.
Yeah.
Surprise.
It wouldn't be E3 time if it wasn't Ubisoft leaks.
But the Far Cry 6, it was just video. I mean, people got excited because it's Giancarlo Esposito, which people were saying, so Far Cry 3, Voss, and then Far Cry 6 is Giancarlo. So they're saying Far Cry 9 has to be someone else from Breaking Bad, because it's every third one now. that's a character in Breaking Bad or an actor.
Who was Voss in Breaking Bad?
Let me look. Let's see. But I didn't see anything else at Ubi. Did anything else catch your eye?
I didn't watch Ubisoft. I watched Devolver.
Devolver's was
but
fun.
It was entertaining, but there were like no new games announced, were there? It was just release dates for Fall Guys and Karen.
Olea.
Yeah, Olea as well. That was new, but that was like one game, like one new game. We already knew about, or whatchamacallit, Shadow Warrior 3 got leaked, or not leaked. The teaser trailer got thrown out. We already knew about Serious Sam 4, which, not knocking it, I'm just saying, like, we already knew about it. And it's like, okay, well, like, you're basically just doing I felt like they were just doing the conference as entertainment. Like, I was thinking, like, there's a game that they're doing called Eater, E-T-I-R, I think it is. And it's kind of like a Souls-ish, like, game. It's isometric, so it's like, you know, three-quarter angle. And it's a Shield Maiden. So she's like,
Shield Maiden looks cool,
but she is just like, that game's been in development for like ever, and it's to be announced. And I was like hoping we'd get an announcement on that. I really would have loved to have seen I know a lot of people would hate it, but like a Hotline Miami 3 would have been cool. Surprise announcement. Like they're always like, stop asking us for Hotline Miami 3. It's like, well, give us Hotline Miami 3 and we'll stop asking for it. Maybe I think Ollie 3. You know?
I think Denaton. I don't. Didn't they say they don't want to do Hotline Miami anymore?
I think you are correct. They said they don't. Yeah, they did say they don't want to do it. But
the weird thing about Devolver was, what was that game that was announced as out?
Olea. It's not out.
Olea. Yeah.
Which was,
and then it wasn't
weird.
out. It's like coming later this year. They're like, it's out now. Like,
I think it's out on Steam, but not on PS4.
It's not out on Steam.
Oh, it's not out on Steam. Okay.
No, it was supposed to be Switch and Steam.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, cool. It's out on Switch, and it's just it's just not out yet.
So while I agree with, you know, the announcements here were not very new, or unknown, or even really any form of surprise. I don't know if I'm going to Devolver Digital events anymore for the games, because
they're entertaining as hell.
Because frankly, the storyline that they have going on, this weird RoboCop like I'm kind of into it, and I kind of hope it continues.
Yeah,
because it's fun. It really is. I mean, very much in the way that, like, I always like Ubisoft's press conferences at E3, because they tried and true. They opened with Just Dance, so you get a weird drug trip of dancers just on a stage in LA, just dancing to whatever. Not a pop song of the day, but like a pop song of like 2 weeks ago, because like the last one, I think they had Jason Derulo at, and that song hadn't been popular for like a year. And then they always find a way to just lean into some dumb shit that makes me giggle. And then I say that as like not playing. I don't engage with a lot of their games. And I think that Far Cry 6, when I saw that, I'm like, what country are they going for here?
Yeah.
And why is Giancarlo Esposito going to be a problem? Because the minute I saw that trailer, I'm like, Giancarlo Esposito is going to be a problem. And what country are we colonizing again?
Well, I mean, kudos to Ubi for handling the leak by releasing the short trailer of Giancarlo saying Anton is not pleased. Like, they whipped that up after the leak, and then the rumor is that this is a prequel, and that the little boy is Voss.
Yeah, because
of the
they're
scar.
they're showing comparison pictures of the little boy and Voss. You're like, oh
And
no.
Michael Mando plays Nacho Varga on Better Call Saul. So he
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
in Breaking Bad. He was in, but he
He's-
worked with John.
he's in
It's
the-
that same universe.
He's in the Breaking Badiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went there. No, I mean, Watch Dogs getting a date was cool. We didn't hear about Gods and Monsters because I don't think it exists anymore.
I thought they were
Remember
saying
they
it's coming out
announced
early next year.
It's supposed to come out early this year.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was supposed to be February this year.
Although
Yeah, and then they
Although
pushed
granted,
it.
anything announced at E3 that isn't available now is probably a lie.
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So
Fuck.
unless you're Bethesda and say available right now.
Right. But hey, Devolver did give us a marketing simulator.
I didn't play it yet. I downloaded it. I'm gonna try it out.
It's called Devolver Land Expo, and it's. I looked
It's
at
a full game. Like it has like 16 achievements in it. Like
Oh
the
wow.
whole it's the whole 9.
That publisher, man.
Yeah,
that
they're
That publisher.
phenomenal. I mean, if you listen, you run down their list of games. I mean, you can't hate on them.
No, not at all.
Like
I
you
mean,
might
not that we are.
You might not like some of their games, but
Oh, yeah.
because it's not your style. I think almost everything they put out is generally a quality game for someone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, they have such a wide range of like phenomenal games out there. Like Minute, like you and Jeff platinumed Minute, which is awesome, and that was a great concept because it's like you get 60 seconds
Mm-hmm.
to play through, and you have to like figure out how to advance and get better in those 60 seconds to get to the end of the game, and like that's awesome. Enter the Gungeon, love it. You know, they're doing the
Downwell.
Shadow Warrior series. What's
Mhm.
that, Jason?
Downwell, wasn't that the one?
Downwell Zen.
Downwell is an awesome game. If you have a Switch, play it on the Switch. It's also on iOS, I think, and Android as well.
Yeah.
That game is phenomenal. But then they also have done some off-the-wall games. Like they've done, not off the walls, but they've done
No, off the walls, right?
off the wall. Yeah, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
But they've done Strafe, which is like
Yeah.
a
First person.
homage to like 1990s first-person shooters, which that game is actually awesome. I love that game.
Mhm.
And then Swords of Ditto, which was
Yep.
awesome. The Messenger they've done. They did
Yep.
Ape Out.
Yep.
So 2019 was a stellar year for them because they did Ape Out, Katana Zero,
Mhm.
Observation, which was the PS4.
It was a VR one.
That was
right?
the VR game
Yeah.
where like you are the actual station.
Mhm.
So Heave Ho, which Matt has raved
Fuck,
about.
Heave Ho's good.
That's Le Cartel. That's their other game.
Wait, no shit.
It is. He's right. It is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was their other game. Yeah, he's
Wow,
right.
talk about Spectrum. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Mother Russia
hey.
Bleeds, and then they did Heave fucking Ho.
It's like a
Yeah.
physics-based puzzle that you could play with like little kids and Mother Russia Bleeds, which you shouldn't play with little kids anywhere
Yeah,
within
so
a
it's like
There's probably
5-block
some
radius.
adults that shouldn't play Mother Russia Bleeds.
So it's like they're like, here's a game you can play with your kids, and then if you like us, here's a game you can play once you put the kids to bed.
when the kids go to sleep, Mother Russia
But,
Bleeds.
yeah, I mean they've got like a lot of good games, you know.
Oh yeah.
Announced for 2020 and hopefully beyond. So
And Devolver just, it seems like a fun company. Like they have no problem
Yeah.
poking fun at themselves.
yeah,
They're just, there was some tweet that they did last year, like, if this doesn't stop, we're canceling all games. And then like all of a sudden,
And
like
then all these games
five
start
games
getting
got
canceled.
And they like, we told you so.
I mean, yeah, like that's one of the reasons why. Well, it's not the reason why they sort of rose to prominence, but it's definitely a reason why they're staying there.
Yeah,
because they know that like they know how to publish a good game, and then they also know how to like they also know about the bullshit in the industry. I just hope that you know they can keep it. And I also like that ever since the game Gris, which is a colorful platformer that is a Devolver jam. I just like that ever since that game that probably wasn't even the first one, but they've been doing different games like Fall Guys, for God's sakes. Like that's if you would have asked me in 2017, is Devolver publishing that? I'd be like, no.
yeah, no, that's a safe statement to make.
And then, like, I mean, sure, The Messenger and Katana Zero, they definitely are cut from the Hotline Miami cloth.
How to fold boyfriend, one where you're
dating pigeons.
Freaking pigeons.
Yeah.
They've also published Titan Souls, which that game is awesome because it's like a twin stick boss rush game where you only have like one arrow. They did Not a Hero, which was pretty fun. Ronin. Mm-hmm. They did the Ollie Ollie series, which if you like skateboarding,
they're
those.
fun.
Like those are just a lot of fun to have. Like and they're quick too. Like a lot of their stuff is like it's extremely quick sessionable. Like Downwell. If I have some downtime, I'm like, boom, I'm pop Downwell on, play a couple levels or a couple attempts, and then, be like, all right, well, I got to bounce and do what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, they have this real ease of accessibility that is just awesome. So I have to say I think they're my favorite publisher.
Mm-hmm.
Really. They are, like, hands down. They just do. I mean, next to Sony, knocking it out of the park.
I'm going to do you one better. I think they are your favorite publisher because you've actually said that statement multiple times across multiple podcasts.
I think they're definitely, when there's conferences, like, you could tell me the lineup they have. I still want to watch the conference. Like, it's not going to, like, if you told me, like, PlayStation, the next day to play, they're going to announce the following games and show trailers, obviously I'd be excited, but, like, it's just going to be like a video. Like, it's not going to be anything the God of War reveal was really cool, but, like, Devolver's going to do it in a way that's, like I'll still be laughing about, like
how are they gonna RoboCop about Fall Guys, Gris, and whatever else they might be announcing? Like, how are they gonna turn that into a RoboCop sort of situation?
Nina Struthers is my video game spirit animal.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that completely.
Seriously. She is awesome.
Yeah.
She is the best.
Yeah, and then what's the name of the one that's not, is her name Linda?
I think so.
And she's the one who she only curses when she's really angry.
Yeah, the redhead. Yeah, that tried to take over or whatever. Which is, like, that whole storyline is just crazy insane, but it was funny. It was nice getting release dates. Like, I will be picking up Carrion day one. Fall Guys, maybe not. I might, whatever. But
I think I'll get Fall Guys.
Nice. I like what you did there. So it's just like, there's a bunch of games that they have got coming out that are gonna be like really, really good. And I hope Serious Sam 4 comes to like consoles, because that would be awesome. Like that, and Shadow Warrior 3 looked really good. Like I played I haven't played the second one, but I played the first one during our challenge. What was that, 2017, 2018? We did the challenge, 2018.
Yeah.
So I played that during there, and I liked the story because that's the remake and all that stuff. Gameplay was good. Haven't played 2 yet, but 3 just looks like they took their gameplay and were like, here's like 20 shots of adrenaline, like it was just batshit crazy, and it looks really awesome and really fun. So
what did Lil Wayne call Devolver? I love how they just made fun of themselves. He goes, great to work with flying hogs. And those ass hats from Devolver or something.
Yeah.
What there was something Nina Struthers said about flying hogs and creating a symphony, but like she used some elegantly choreographed profanity, and I wish I could remember it.
No, that was pretty good. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I wish I remember what she said.
When I saw that, I was like, this is awesome.
Like, I started watching it while I was at work on Saturday, and my coworkers were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, listen, ladies, I host a podcast podcast about video games, and video games are happening right now, so I gotta know. And they're like, okay. And then they started to ask me so what's going on? I'm like, okay. So I had to update 4 years of Devolver press conferences.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing.
So it started with this lady, but then this lady showed up, killed this lady, but kept her consciousness alive. And halfway through, I realize I'm basically sounding like a WWE storyline. And then they're like, what's WWE? I'm like, that'll take too long.
There's not enough deodorant for that conversation.
No.
We mentioned the Devolver Land, basically advertisement game. Admiral Baru, he's a Twitch streamer. He tweeted them, "I played your ad game. Where's my $5 coupon?" And they responded, "It's in your heart, deep inside." And he responds back, "I can't buy a sandwich with that. I will never recover from this." So they respond, "Thoughts and prayers."
Oh,
you gotta love companies that
can do it right.
I have a good sense of humor like that.
Yeah,
that's like I've been following Steel Series, the peripheral company, and they've got some awesome. There's some Google sent a gift to an Indonesian couple who named their daughter Google. So this guy goes, "Hey, Steel Series, funny, right? I'd like to introduce you to my daughter, Apex Pro TKL." And they just go, "Well played, Garrett. Well played."
I shared that joke to Reba. She's like, "What's happening?" I go, "Okay." When people want money, they will try dumb things, like naming their kids after things. And this time, Google sent money to an Indonesian couple, and Steel Series just said, "Well played, Garrett." And she's like, "Yes, but what was the product?" I'm like, "That'll take too long." But yes, Devolver good, Ubisoft, we'll probably play those games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know Jeff's getting Watch Dogs day one, so.
Yeah, that's the first Watch Dogs I've actually been interested in. It does look cool. I want to kill some people with that grandma.
And I've enjoyed the last two Far Cries. Those were actually the first two I played right away.
Okay.
So I probably will play 6. What was cool was they announced that if you buy it on PS4, you get a free upgrade to PS5.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I'll probably play Far Cry 6 too, because I do like that series. I really do. It's fun.
It gets knocked a lot, but it's fun. It's just fun. They're just fun games. They're not deep, but going in, you don't expect this is gonna have a deep story, and I hope it has all that. It's like, no, that's not what this is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love Annapurna's take on publishing Far Cry 6. I would love for them to just be like, Annapurna is going to publish Far Cry from now on, and then all of a sudden it's this deep, thoughtful narrative.
You actually play as the villain and discover the motivations behind why you're doing.
And then you're then just all of a sudden you are it's like the Outer Wilds somehow. now, where it's done in 22-minute loops. But, you know, popcorn games are popcorn games. And the Far Cry series, especially post 3, has been a good series of that. Yeah. But what do you say, gentlemen?
Bye.
At Story Route Zero, we have some cool friends who do some cool things, and I'd like to tell you about them. Phoenix Overdrive uses the power of games and gamers to help heal sick kids through the charity Extra Life. Phoenix Overdrive fundraises for Children's Miracle Network hospitals all year, every year, and the fund culminates in a 24-hour gaming marathon. Find out more about their events and projects online via Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive or on Twitter and Instagram at PHX_Overdrive. You can also join the Facebook group of Pawn Stars at facebook.com/groups/PO Nation in order to share and discuss all the latest in nerd culture. They've also got a podcast, Nerd Overdrive, which you can see weekly at youtube.com/Phoenix Overdrive. You can also catch it on Facebook Live or twitch.tv/PHX_Overdrive. That podcast is also published on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. You want merch? They got merch. Merch can be ordered from tinyurl.com/PHXODmerch, a portion of which goes to their fundraising efforts. Join the nation and be a hero to sick kids, as El Capitan Ray Osorio, Lee the Maestro, and Becky, the lovely queen of the guild, always say, #Rise Above. This has been an episode of Story Route Zero. Thank you for coming along on this journey. We sincerely hope you enjoyed yourself as much as we enjoyed having you. Once again, you can find everything we do at StoryRoute0.com. Hit us up on Twitter at StoryRoute_0, or you can email us at StoryRoute0@gmail.com. If you'd like to hit us up individually anywhere, you can find Moose at Sven, that's SVHENN, everywhere on social media. That's PSN, that's Twitter, that's Instagram. You can also find him on Twitch, streaming games. You can find Jason Marshall at GimpyJ, with 2 Y's at the end. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Twitch, and he also has a website called whereisthepausebutton.com. Captain Canada is the only Story Route Zero exclusive. He's the only one you can only find right here on the show. As for me, I'm Infinite_Rewind everywhere I'd like to be. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's PSN, and Twitch. I also have my own website, InfiniteRewind.com, where I do all sorts of weird writing and rambling. Check us out at all the places. And remember, you are always welcome, and you will always have a seat waiting for you on this ride. But for now, it's back to the real world for us. We will see you on the next one.